My name is Olga. I'm the founder of the Academy of Smart Lawyers, or previously known as OSCEsmart. We have been training foreign qualified lawyers during the last 7 years to prepare and pass the solicitor qualifying examination. So we have been dealing with people from overseas, foreign lawyers, foreign students as well, who haven't been qualified in any jurisdiction. Also domestic candidates. So I have quite a vast experience. We help almost 350 people to qualify as English solicitors. So let's consider how long it's going to take you to prepare for the SQE1. Let's start from the most difficult categories of candidates. First, those are non-law grads, so people who studied something else. IT guys, I don't know, medical professionals. And here we have a few factors to consider. You might have some legal experience, and that's why something in your actual work pushed you to this qualification. In this case, you may take it into account and, reduce the amount of time required. Another group of the candidates who may struggle a lot are foreign qualified lawyers, those who are from civil law jurisdiction and whose English is not perfect, because English is a big deal here. It's also kind of a difficulty, as well as your other studies, because the laws are very different. So you may confuse with your own home jurisdiction, and I know it, being a foreign qualified lawyer myself. And you have to distinguish those two things. It was slightly easier for me because I used to study in the UK. I did LLB and then LPC. But people who never studied in the UK, this is your category. For those both categories, it may take you from 1 year to 2 years. Let's be realistic. I don't see how you can prepare for this difficult exam in 3 months, for sure. If you are a foreign qualified lawyer from common law jurisdiction with good command in English, with some legal experience, which may be an advantage for the SQE2, I think it's realistic to make it even in 6 months if you have no other commitments. You just study. If you have job commitments, and it depends on the intensity of your job, and you should balance that, because in order to remember the things, you actually should devote time to learning, and it's better to use distributive learning. I mean, not to squeeze everything in very short period of time, plus to devote time for your actual legal job, have a little bit of personal life in order not to get crazy. I think realistically, 9 months would be something you should expect, maybe slightly more. Again, it depends on various commitments. And the most advanced category of the candidates are LLB grads from the UK universities. Again, you may be a foreigner, but I think if you studied in the UK, your English should be up to the level. Obviously, you covered most of the subjects. You just need those subjects which are covered in LPC. You also might need to revise the subjects that you have already studied and passed as a part of your LLB. If you devote a lot of time, let's say you have no work, you just spend all your time onto studies, so you're very much focused, you can potentially make it in 3 months. Think that maybe at least 3 weeks you should spend only on practicing the multiple choice questions. I would say from 3 months up to 6 or 9 months, depending on your commitments. 3 months would be in the best scenario. It means you would have to study like you go to work, because you would have to study 5 areas of practice and squeeze them. I mean, that is something very much optimistic. More realistic would be 6 months, and absolutely fine would be to spend 9 months for the SQE1 only. What about foreign qualified lawyers who have LLM from the UK universities? It is helpful, but this is not LLB. This is to say that you more or less understand the standard, the specifics of their legal education, which is helpful. But at the same time, you haven't studied the law. You could have had some bits of business law or maybe dispute resolution, depends on your LLM. But in general terms, is not a big thing. It may also be a good indicator of your better English, which is true. But at the same time, I think you still fall into this category of foreign qualified lawyers. And then you should decide either you are common law or civil law group. of the candidates. Our subscription is 13 months in general terms, but if you need to extend it, you can extend it for a very reasonable fee to another year. We're also forming study groups as per jurisdiction. You'll have a mentor from a specific jurisdiction who already passed this exam, who knows everything about it, knows what you're going through, and will guide those groups, helping you to, when it's required, to compare certain things with your home jurisdiction. We also have very strong SYNOPSIS notes, which will help you to memorize the things. We specifically know what is required for this exam, and this is the key. Those are made with different visual aids, and we are working on very comprehensive bundle of questions. Plus, in our subscription, we include Oxford University Press manual with a bank of 1,200 questions.